NattyNatt has officially hit rank 1 Korea, so today we're breaking down the main reasons for his success in one of the toughest solo queue servers. So something that every single high elo player is very good at, especially NattyNatt, is recognizing how to create volatility, but also create less of it, right? So to reduce variance, he always recognizes, okay, Mundo is really weak in early game. How can I avoid enemy jungle? He knows that Zed is matching his clear. He puts himself on the top side of the bot crab. If Zed now goes for the bot gank, he will get double scuttled than Mundo. If Zed does not, Mundo just avoids the Zed. He understands that if he decides to fight for this crab, Nico is there, Zed is there, it'll turn into a banger fight, he might lose his flash, he might even die worst case, and he doesn't want to flip it. You'll see other great players like Agarin as well follow this type of gameplay as well. You'll have other players in other roles like Alois in top lane play the exact same way. Moving on to this next clip, we have him playing Rengar this time. On Rengar you'll see this common pattern where he one-shots someone, immediately clicks away after. Why? Well, continuing this play after you just used your main way to fight as Rengar doesn't make any sense. His team wants to retake topside. He says, I'm not messing with that, I am farming camps and I'm playing side lane. This is way safer play, way less risky, reduces variance. He's familiar with this decision. He's been here 1,000 times. He knows, okay, I'm going to get these camps. I'm going to hit level 11. I'm going to one-shot the bot turret if I'm allowed to. He has been here in so many situations, and it's a way better way to play if you're looking to climb. In this next clip, we have him do a really good Mundo clear. Again, he's going to look to reduce variance here and avoid getting messed up in early game. So he has a lot of gold and he finishes his clear. When he finishes his clear, he does not gank bot lane here and risk getting counter ganked. He does not do anything like this. He simply just bases, gets his components, opens on the map on mid lane so he can go top crab or bot crab depending on what enemy jungle does. In this case, he gets an item lead over enemy jungler and he can just open straight up bot side and match the enemy. If he now was staying and ganking or whatever, the enemy trundle would have no items but so would the Mundo and it wouldn't be a good look. Instead, he guarantees a win, reduces variance, makes it not risky at all, pulls up with giant spelt and enemy trundle can't do anything. In the next and final clip, it's again about clearing. He just finished a full clear. This means he has a lot of time. He could do dragon now, or he could recall. By recalling, he once again reduces variance. It'll be way easier to win this fight and the next sequences with a dirk and an extra sword. This also allows him to be more likely to fight the incoming crab, which is something that NattyNatt really values and loves to play for. A lot of you might now go into Tribush, maybe look to clear a pink ward or something. The problem with this is, then you're playing the crab sequence and the dragon sequence without the extra dirk and the sword. Now he simply just pulls up with the extra items and the sequence after will be so much easier. He is now around mid lane while having his passive and all of his items ready. Whereas if you were just here staying on the map, you would have very weak items now. So Natty has a pretty simple and easy game plan to follow. He wants to get himself ahead and he wants to be efficient while doing so, while also reducing variance and random things happening. Here you see he just finished a clear. He has giant spelt in base, he wants to make sure enemy has no vision of him recalling, and so enemy is kinda scared. His plan is never to gank bot here, but he adapts because something happens. This is normal, but you see that he will adapt in a way that doesn't hurt his main game plan. A lot of you maybe tilt now that Zed got a kill and you try to push for the gank more, you try to look for more cleavers on the smolder. But Natty knows the main plan is the top crab. So now instead of basing to go top crab, he now just raises the Zed. Zed cannot get the crab, but Natty gets the crab, which is the game plan. Onto this next clip, we have once again Natty following his strict game plan. Where's his camps? They're bot side. Where's the objective? Bot side. He immediately takes the Herald, pings his team, and recalls. His Yone makes a crucial mistake. His Yone gets stuck in the pit and griefs the game. A lot of you would get emotional now and try to fix Yone's mistake, trying to salvage the situation and make a fight happen. By doing that, you add variance to the game and you make yourself an inter. Instead, Natty follows his game plan, believing in, if I get items, I will carry this game. Doesn't matter what my Yone is doing. Farms spot camps, and now he'll have a good sequence to play out once he's done clearing. In this next clip, we see once again his team is a bunch of morons doing a lot of unnecessary stuff, but he realizes I have no ult as Rengar, there's top camps to farm. If my team wants to stick around and int, I can use that int to get myself further ahead. Pings his team, trusts that they will not int. If they int, who cares? I'm just gonna farm. You now see him take all of the camps and have so much gold to play with, whereas if he followed his team, he maybe dies, maybe lose flash, he wouldn't be able to carry the game. Looking at this play here, we see him catch the Jax. After that, he's low health, has no ulti. Instead of helping his team and maybe pushing for a dive on Mel and getting an assist, he instead just uses this time to just farm even more, push out the lane, and also get enemy bot camps. This way, sure, maybe he lost an assist on the Mel, but by going for the assist on the Mel, he wouldn't get all of these camps and he wouldn't actually snowball. Instead, now he achieves a larger lead over the enemy, while his team can punish them topside. In this situation right now, his tempo is not the best. There is a top crab that just spawned, there is a herald spawning in 12 seconds. This is not a timer to full clear. As you can see, he will now skip the Krugs. His Nautilus has a vision timer. If you now as Mundo decide to go for Krugs, your Nautilus will almost always int. Instead, he plays for the crab and starts the objective and makes sure that his timer to play is the same as the Nautilus. In these situations in game, it is correct to skip the plan of full clearing. This way he can just play and use his Jax strength on side lane, use his Nautilus timer to get vision, and he can always go for his own Krugs after the Herald if he so wishes. There's nothing that NattyNatt loves more than Scuttle crabs. Immediately pings on his way to Scuttle, checks, okay, mid lane has prio, I'm just gonna take this vision plant, go for the Scuttle crab, and take it. If you think about it, Scuttle crabs is basically like an objective, right? It's kinda enemy's camp. You're taking it away from enemy team. It is extremely valuable. In this clip, he also knew that Trundle was bot side. He's not worried at all about counter ganking bot, because doing so might lead to him losing the top crab. Look at this golden XP that this crab gives him. Take a look at that. That is also denying enemy jungle. In this clip, you see again, camera on the Scuttle. Nothing else that he wants to play for. Scuttle crab is top. I'm going top. We go immediately top, race to the top crab, take it from the enemy jungler, and then we go and we play for invade. This is how every single game of NattyNatt looks like. Where is the Scuttle? I'm going to the Scuttle, and then I will play. In this Scuttle crab clip, we see he's ending the play with the Herald, getting out of the fight. Right now, we have no ulti. He has Gromp on top side, but there's a Scuttle on bot side. Immediately pings on my way to the bot Scuttle. I am going for the crab. It is way more important than his singular Gromp. You are denying enemy jungle gold and XP and putting yourself on a position where you can punish the enemy. Let's get into how NattyNatt generates tempo. How does he use his time? How does he make sure that he's always ahead of enemy jungler in time and that he's punishing enemy's jungle lack of time? Looking at this clip, he's fighting grubs. After these scrubs, he has a lot of gold. Look at his minimap. He has all his bot camps up. Some people now would go into bot side and farm their camps. Sounds good, right? Wrong. If you go into bot side here, a lot of bad things will happen. Echo comes from base with items. He can go and make a fight happen. If you then feel forced to join the fight, you have a lot of gold. NattyNatt instead just bases, gets Yumu's, is fast on the map, has a better clear now because good items, is strong if a fight was to occur. If enemy jungle now, let's say, decides to go for a top gank, you now have items to then dive enemy bot lane or do Drake. Just any play that happens now, you have items. The only downside of what he did is he's later to his Krugs. But he also now has the option to skip Krugs and do a fight if something was to occur. Into this next clip, we see once again NattyNatt using tempo really well. He kills Ahri. Right after this, he doesn't waste time. He doesn't think, oh, maybe I can gank bot lane. Wrong. He is low. Even if he could now Q something or heal a little bit of a plant in river, it wouldn't be efficient. It's much better to just base, buy a small item like Mercs, get back on the map with full health, and then you can just play for a long time. We take a look now, we see he goes straight bot lane, plays full health with Mercs, and avoids wasting time. This also ties into our point about him reducing variance in his games, because by doing this play, he's not ganking bot while being low, he is not overextending without Mercs, he has the best condition his champion could possibly have at this moment of the game. In this clip, right now enemy team has 3 grubs, they have a Trundle. His bot lane is in a really bad condition. If you are the Mundo here, you must skip red buff. Just make sure your Raptors and Krugs are being cycled, and then match the Lulu's base. Retake your bot side, protect the bot tower, and play for Drake. Now you see Lulu has to open the map all alone, same with Yunara, and bot turret gets completely destroyed by the 3 grubs plus a Trundle. His tempo is so bad, he could just be walking with Lulu now, looking for his bot camps, playing dragon and defending the bot tower. Then he could be pushing the enemy out. Instead now, enemy gets a very large gold comeback play. He has such a large lead in this game, there's no reason for enemy team to really get this gold back. If he skipped the red buff, enemy would have no play whatsoever. In this situation here, we see enemy retaking the objective and pushing NattyNatt away. Here he has a crucial choice to make. If he goes to his bot camps, enemy will get grubs. If he goes into their bot side, he will also give the grubs. But by going bot side and playing fast, he is abusing enemy's lack of tempo. Enemy has to use time to do the objective. This time he can use to go for something aggressive. Take a look at this. He goes to bot side, doesn't care about anything. He knows enemy's tempo is bad, right? Enemy's doing the top side objective. So now he can go for a bot dive onto the enemy Jace, and with this, snowball the game. Enemy cannot respond to this play because of their lack of tempo, and after doing this play he can then farm his camps. If he does it the other way around, doing his camps first and then diving Jace, then he would be behind in tempo because enemy would be first to respond. Going on to the final clip, he ends up making a mistake, but it shows good intent. After doing Drake, you see that he wants to recall. He has no flash, no ult, he doesn't believe enemy can do Atakan. He has 2000 gold. But take a look at the map right now, he sees that Trundle ends up walking up to the Tribush. If you are Mundo now, you need to remember, I still want to recall. But maybe Trundle ints. If Trundle crosses this line, he's inting. If Trundle stays on this side, he is not inting. You need to be very careful now, as NattyNatt's team and him, to make a fight. If you make a fight now, it is the only chance the enemy team has to win. You see he knows this, that's why he's pressing recall, but he cancels the base because he thinks Trundle might int, which in my opinion is correct. Trundle is showcasing signs of an inter, right? If Mundo now presses S, standing still here, waiting for Trundle to cross the line, it would be a good play. Ideally, Natty would now press recall. If Trundle walks up, cancel the base, and then try to kill him. The problem is he tunnels. Now he pushes himself onto enemy's side into a choke, and this is their greatest chance to throw the game. You have no ult, he's not playing well around his own condition here, and the game becomes pretty fiesta. But he has the right idea. He understands he must base here, and then he can go bot side with ult and items. But again, he is human, makes a mistake, but we can learn, and still it does show good intent. Let's take a look at how NattyNatt snowballs his lead both in early game and mid game. In early game, it's a lot through XP leads. He loves to do calculated invades, and here's one of them. He gets a crab lead over the enemy Zed, putting him level 6 to level 5. He's tracking Zed really well. And with this in mind, his level gap, there's no way that Zed can ever kill him. Even if enemy laners ends up coming, they can't even kill him either, with him having level 6 on Mundo. So takes the blue, and at this point Zed's really behind. In this next clip, he is once again ahead in levels, but also items. Enemy Trundle is wasting a lot of time. He notices this guy is on mid while having his top camps up. Normally Trundle should be removing his top camps here. Instead of leaving the Trundle and going to farm his wolves or his own Krugs, he pushes the Trundle away, chasing him. Trundle is now hard stuck in mid lane, and his top camps is up for grabs. So this is how NattyNatt usually plays the mid game. He plays a lot through side lane and trying to get the plates before they fall off at 14 minutes. His champion Rengar one-shots towers, and with the addition of grubs and feats of strength, this is even more important now, as getting first turret has more value. You can see here, him and the Jax who has Sheen just one-shots this tower with the Ferocity Q as well. If you have free grubs in general, as long as you have high attack speed, this will be a good play. In this next clip, we see once again he kills someone on side lane around the 11, 12, 13 minute mark, and once again it's a free wave for him to get. He now hits the tower with the Senna, and he gets a bunch of plates once again. The gold he gets from these creeps is gonna be worth more than the camp as well that he would potentially lose. Maybe he loses his raptors here. But he gets so much money from the plates, and Rengar loves money. In this final clip on how NattyNatt snowballs a game, you see Echo wasting his time, is behind in tempo. NattyNatt has already based, has Dirk. Enemy Echo is puffing up in this game. Now, Natty knows, okay, I have a massive tempo advantage over Echo. I can be there on his Raptors when the Echo gets there. I will solo kill him with Dirk. So he spam pings the Senna, let's go Raptor invade. And as you can see, he is here first, Echo cannot breathe, and now the Echo is extremely mad, dies, and Raptors is his. One of the most important skills you can have as a player is how you play teamfights. Teamfights is a great way to either win the game or lose the game, both from behind or winning position. As Rengar, an assassin champion, you want to find angles, you want to make it hard for enemy carries to play, either through killing them or stopping them from connecting to the fight. You see the Ziggs is cut off, which NattyNatt knows. So instead of going through the river, he chases the Ziggs, forcing his W. He keeps the Ziggs on his toes. Ziggs is scared this entire time, sprinting towards his team. Ziggs has a bad position in this entire fight, forced to only poke the Mundo, all because of NattyNatt's angle. In this next clip, we once again see him go on a side lane into a flank angle. This allows him to have passive stacks, allows him to isolate someone on enemy team, and also great use of walls to hide his jump animation. If he was to go through Tribush or through his team side, he would get zoned by abilities like Orianna QW, zoned by a potential Jarvan ulti, all of this nonsense, but he avoids it all by picking a side lane angle. Take a look at Ori. Ori is cut off from her team. So similar to the Siggs clip, we see him once again put himself in a situation where he has choices. He can go and do the 4v1, but he can also choose for the Orianna. You see, Orianna is stressing out and she's completely disconnected from her team. In this clip, obviously she has Sonya, so she lives, but we once again see him value going for the isolated target and cutting their carries off, rather than just coming from the same angle as his teammates and being useless. In this next clip, you once again see his flank angle putting a lot of threat on the enemy. I want you to track K'Sante in this fight. He literally spends the entire fight circling around Baron, trying to find where the Rengar is jumping from. He goes up and down and up, and he's so confused, and there we have it, Kai'Sa's exposed. If Rengar just went from the same angle as Vel'Koz, then Vel'Koz could be getting zoned by enemy trying to zone the Rengar. But by making his own independent flank, it's so hard for enemy team to play, and it constantly stresses them out by seeing their Rengar ult mark on top of their head. In this final clip, we see enemy as position on the Drake. It is impossible for him to enter through mid or through the Raptor position. Instead, he chooses once again to flank. Enemy sees the eye from the Rengar ult behind them and they full on panic. All of them leave, giving his team space. As patient as he is, he waits out the Poppy W, and there we have it, enemy team is all low and chunked, wasted all their abilities, and he is the one that created all of this. Playing the late game as an assassin can be extremely difficult because enemy might just be too tanky, or have way too much CC for you to do anything. In this example, his Galio mid lane is grouped, leaving top lane open. As Rengar, Talon, or Nocturne, anything that has good wave clear and has good flanks and good ways to get from a side to mid, it is a good decision to go for a split push angle here. Now he pivots and he goes to mid instead, but we can see by him going top first, he has the choice to go side or to go group. In this clip, it's a mistake in my opinion to go group, but he at least had the option and the choice to do more than just going mid. In this next clip is honestly perfection. I wouldn't change a single thing he did here. He once again approaches the game from side lane. Enemy team moves in. A lot of people would tunnel on, okay, we need to fight the Drake. Instead, he maintains his passive by going bot, while also pressuring tier 2. By pressuring tier 2, he makes enemy team have to start the Drake immediately. His Vex runs it down, which makes this clip even better, because even though Vex ran it down, you now see enemy 5 challenger Korean players full scatter and panic as Rengar approaches from behind. It is really hard to do an objective and then also leave when you're being flanked, and that is what's happening here. Sure, enemy team got the Drake, but there's a fed Rengar behind them. Rengar started this clip with 800 gold, and with getting the bot turret and the wave, he had 1.6k gold. So even if this just turned into, okay, my mid died, and I give the Drake, he is still really fed from this decision. And it allows him to flank, which is what your assassin champions would love to do. NattyNatt is a great leader. If you watch his solo queue games, you see him ping a lot and demand his team to do what he wants to do. Take a look at this. He's the only guy on the Atacant side. He pings it and just starts it. He trusts that his team will listen to him, and he plays in a way where it's really simple to follow him. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't start to farm camps. He doesn't start to go mid. He just immediately goes for the Atacant, and his team listens. Taking a look at this next clip, we once again see that he's being a great leader. His Jace is split pushing and he knows enemy team is 5-man grouped. He pings to play slow, he pings his team to back off, and he writes in chat to play it slow. If you do not do this, your team might be in the wrong mindset and you might all just get caught. This clip is a bit unique to this game, but I think it's really interesting and it shows that he understands how to win, but also how to lose a game. If he dies right now, his team is gonna lose a lot. Instead, he makes it out alive, but more importantly, he chooses to not go and recall, but look what he does. He realizes, okay, enemy team is in my base, but there's a bot wave. If I do not go for this bot wave, enemy team will clear this wave and they'll get the bot tower. By playing this way, enemy team has no bot tower to take because there is no wave. He also gets to funnel himself a little bit extra gold. This forces enemy to go for mid inhib, which is a far worse play because it's easier for him and his team to now run them down. This kills enemy's tempo, but it's also a worse thing to get than a side tier 2 turret. Even the best players in the world makes mistakes sometimes, and us as viewers can learn from them. I want to highlight 2 bad habits that NattyNatt has. First one being how he plays around his shutdown whilst being ahead of his team in tempo. Right now, all he needs to do is wait for his Ryze, who has 2 items, to get closer, and then play on his team's tempo, not on his tempo. Now he's too tunneled on, oh my god, I'm fed, I want to play right now, and he's sad he can't play right now, and he loses a bit of focus, gets caught, gives a shutdown over. Now his team is gonna fight without him. It takes the game out of your hands, in a way. And when you want to play the game in NattyNatt's way, you're going to have a shutdown a lot of times, because you're gonna farm well, you're gonna get a lot of kills, you're gonna get plates, but when you do this, you're going to have a shutdown. You must be really careful about this. In the next clip, we're going to talk about F-keying in combat. I noticed watching his Mundo gameplay, he's extremely tunneled in fight compared to when he's playing Rengar actually. Right now, take a look at Jace. Jace now gets caught on rotation by enemy Jarvan jungle. If he sees this in the fight, he should be F-keying to Jace and noticing Jarvan is full health and coming. We need to end this fight. If he realized, he could have ended the fight now and kept his flash. He keeps the fight going for no real reason, gets 1 Heartsteel proc, and now has no flash for the next fight. Taking a look at another Mundo example, you see the fight is again split. Jarvan dives in, he goes on the backline. Right now, I would love for him to just F-key 1 time to see is my team winning against the enemy. If my team is losing, I need to pull this wave up and try to one-shot it so the game doesn't fall apart and we lose. Instead, it kind of just happens naturally and on autopilot, but he still spent most of this fight just running at the Lucian and turning towards his team without having any idea what is happening. So what can we learn from NattyNatt's recent push to rank 1? Farm smart, track enemies' tempo while also playing for your own tempo, play for Scuttle, and above all, don't fight when you don't have to. If you master these fundamentals, you'll be the one controlling the game. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please drop a like and subscribe for more high-level League analysis. I plan on doing a series of this, watching all of the European players playing the Korean ladder. I find it extremely interesting, and I'm sure that it'll be a great source for you all to learn from.